Welcome to the shadows of the internet. Have you ever stood in front of your bathroom mirror at 2 a.m. and felt like your reflection was just a fraction of a second behind your actual movements? That is the chilling premise of the Mirror Mimic Challenge. It started as a clever editing trend, a way for creators to show off their post-production skills by making their reflections delay, wave, or even walk away while the real person stays still. But tonight, we are looking past the filters and the masks into something much more unsettling that has been surfacing lately. In the beginning, it was all for fun. You would see teenagers using basic masking techniques and video editors to create a lag effect. One side of the screen would play at normal speed, while the other, the reflection, would be slowed down by just 10%. The result was a jarring, uncanny valley effect that triggered a primal fear in viewers. It became a viral sensation overnight, with millions of people trying to outdo each other with the most realistic and disturbing independent reflection they could possibly manufacture. Technically, the trick is simple. Most creators use a tripod to keep the camera perfectly still. They film two separate takes, one where they act normally and one where they act as the reflection. Then they stitch them together down the middle. But as the trend evolved, people began reporting something strange. They claimed that during the filming process, even before any editing was done, the reflection seemed to take on a life of its own. It sounds like a typical creepypasta until you start looking at the unedited raw footage being leaked by shaken influencers. The mood shifted when a user named Reflector posted a video that went beyond a simple delay. In the clip, the girl turns away from the mirror to pick up a hairbrush, but her reflection stays staring directly into the camera. There were no cuts, no green screens, and no visible editing artifacts. The internet went into a frenzy trying to debunk it, searching for hidden wires or complex glass setups, but the girl behind the account disappeared shortly after, deleting all her social media presence and leaving behind only that one haunting image. Psychologists call our fear of mirrors spectrophobia, but this trend taps into something deeper, the fear of the doppelganger. Legend says that seeing your own double is an omen of death. In the Mirror Mimic Challenge, the double isn't just a copy, it is a competitor. It is as if the glass acts as a thin veil between our world and a darker, inverted reality, where something is desperately trying to learn how to be us. Every time we participate in this trend for likes, are we inadvertently teaching these entities how to mimic our behavior perfectly? Soon, the glitches became more frequent. People started noticing that in these challenge videos, the reflections weren't just delayed, they were different. A reflection might be wearing a slightly different colored shirt, or the room behind them would have an extra door that didn't exist in reality. Comment sections became battlegrounds of skeptics and believers. Some argued it was all elaborate marketing for a horror movie, while others began to share their own terrifying experiences of their reflections refusing to blink when they did. There is a specific video from a creator in Japan that still circulates on the dark corners of the web. It shows a man performing the challenge in a public restroom. As he walks away from the mirror, his reflection actually climbs out of the glass frame and follows him into the darkness of the hallway. The camera falls to the floor, and the audio records a sound that can only be described as wet glass shattering. To this day, the location of that restroom has never been identified, and the video remains one of the most debated pieces of digital evidence. Why are we so obsessed with this? Perhaps it is because the mirror is the only place we can never truly see ourselves, only a projection. We trust the mirror implicitly to tell us the truth about our appearance, but the Mirror Mimic Challenge breaks that fundamental trust. It suggests that our identity is fragile and can be stolen by the very image we use to define ourselves. It turns the most mundane object in our homes into a portal for something predatory and patient, waiting for us to stop paying attention. As the trend reached its peak, a new hashtag emerged, hashtag Save the Mimics. It was started by a group who claimed that the reflections were actually souls trapped in a parallel dimension, and the challenge was a way to help them switch places with us. They posted rituals involving candles and specific chants to perform while filming. While most saw it as a joke, the number of missing persons reports involving people who were last seen filming mirror videos began to see a statistical spike that year, though authorities dismissed any supernatural connection. The history of mirror rituals goes back centuries, from Bloody Mary to scrying. Ancient civilizations believed mirrors could trap the soul or serve as a gateway for demons. The Mirror Mimic Challenge is simply the 21st century version of these ancient fears, updated for the era of high-definition cameras and social media algorithms. We are essentially performing digital seances every time we point our cameras at our reflections, inviting the unknown into our pockets and our homes under the guise of entertainment. Before you try this challenge yourself, think about the consequences. What if the edit isn't an edit? What if the reason your reflection stayed behind wasn't because of a software lag, but because it decided it was tired of following you? The next time you walk past a mirror in the dark, don't look, because if you see it moving when you aren't, it means the mimic has already won, and it is only a matter of time before it decides to step out of the glass and take your place in the real world. The Mirror Mimic Challenge serves as a grim reminder that some doors, once opened, can never be closed, especially those made of silver and glass. Stay safe out there, and maybe keep your mirrors covered tonight. If you enjoyed this dive into the dark side of viral trends, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the mysteries that hide in plain sight. We will see you in the next video, unless your reflection sees you first.